Hey out there, this is Wake Angel 2001, and you may have noticed that this vlog is a little over a week late. That's because my VCR is still busted, so I can't record the Sonic Boom episodes, and I work at 6 o'clock on Saturdays. I found a couple of VCR repair shops in my area. Might try to see if one of them can fix my VCR, because heaven knows you can't replace these things these days. And this became the most difficult to find episode on the internet ever. Like, you can find postings of shows from premium channels or like Netflix exclusive shows easier than this episode of Sonic Boom. It's like, like absolutely nobody had it. This like I only found like one guy who like held a camera up to his TV and recorded it that way. That was the only posting of this episode on the internet for an entire week. Like I have no idea. Like the network would allow like I could easily find My Little Pony or Transformers or like I said, you could find almost anything else, but this one episode of Sonic Boom, it seems that the network fought tooth and nail to prevent anybody from posting it online. Like, ugh. But thanks to some guy on YouTube, and I'm actually afraid to mention his name because I'm afraid that if YouTube found out about his name, then they would instantly flag his videos, so I'm not gonna... Like, I'm just saying, just suffice to say, someone on YouTube finally posted it, and I was able to watch it. And this was episode 43, Chain Letter, which is not a very good title, because there is a chain letter, but it has nothing to do with the chain letter, really. Like for when I heard that title, I was expecting this episode to kind of like be like the cross-eyed moose, or the cockeyed moose, or whatever the heck it was, like with Sticks running around being all crazy superstitious, because we all know the superstitions tied around chain letters where you get bad luck if you don't forward them. Chain letters are basically the first spam. So the episode begins with Dr. Eggman on his computer playing Pong with Cubot Norbot when he gets an email. Which he first thinks it's a pop-up ad, but it's just email, and it's a spam. So he needs to forward it to 3 of his friends to avoid bad luck, but but he doesn't have any friends. So he goes on to his MySpace account. They call it Friendspace, which is kind of like a mixture of Facebook, MySpace, and Friendster, from what I can understand. And he gets Cubot Norbot to join him, so that he can have a couple of friends. But then he needs a third friend so he can finish forwarding this spam. So he starts going around town trying to make friends with the villagers. And what do you know? For a guy who routinely terrorized the town with robot attacks, apparently it's kind of difficult for that kind of guy to make friends. He actually, like, that woodpecker guy that I think was in the Insanity episode, he's just moving into town and Eggman helps him move. And that guy would gladly friend him on Friendspace. The only problem is that he just moved in, so it's going to take him at least a couple of weeks to set up his internet access and computer and all that stuff. So, of course, Eggman walks away. It's kind of funny. Yeah, Eggman. So yeah, Eggman tries to friend the old guy crossing the street, but he doesn't even know what social media is. And then he stops walking him across the street halfway, and Dave the intern runs him over with the Mayburger mobile. And then he's like, "Oh no, I ran over somebody. Is he okay?" He sees him getting up, like, "Oh, he's okay." And then he goes to drive away, but he actually shifts into reverse and hits the old guy again, like, "Ah!" Hit and run. And it had absolutely nothing to do with the episode. For a second, I thought that maybe they were gonna come up with the fact that the monkey guy had failed to forward the spam, but apparently that wasn't the issue at all. He's just an actually unlucky old man monkey. So finally, about 3 minutes or 40 seconds in, we finally get Sonic and his friends in the episode. They're playing a soccer game. These guys really like to play soccer. I guess that is because the studio that makes this cartoon is French, and soccer is a very popular sport in Europe. Actually, it's the most popular sport in the world. So Dr. Eggman. Oh, by the way, there are some really pathetic attempts at young people lingo here. He also tries to friend this trendy bunny girl. This kind of thing. This trendy bunny girl kind of reminds me of a character from Freedom Planet. Except that the character from Freedom Planet was nice, and this girl is kind of a, she's one of those internet girls, yeah. So she refuses to friend Eggman because he sounds like her mom, trying to sound hip. All right. So Sonic agrees to friend Eggman. Well, at first they refuse, but then later on, after they leave, Amy says that she kind of feels sorry for Eggman for not having any online friends. When Tails says that if they friended him, then they could at least keep tabs on him. So Sonic adds Dr. Eggman on social media. So the first thing that happens is that Eggman forwards a chain letter, which Sonic immediately deletes, and that is it. The chain letter is never brought up again. It was the title of the episode, and it got a token mention at the beginning. At the halfway point, they brought it back, and it was deleted, and nothing comes from it. Sonic doesn't get unusually bad luck for failing to forward the letter. Styx doesn't even appear in this episode, let alone do the thing I expected her to, which is to talk to Sonic about how she messed up about how he shouldn't meddle in these kinds of affairs of luck and blah 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 blah. So anyway, the only thing that comes of this is it turns out that Eggman is one of those guys who shares everything on social media. 5-year-old memes, cat videos, a bunch of pictures of his breakfast. He's like one of those guys that's constantly sharing stuff online. It's kind of funny. So Sonic is of course annoyed by Eggman's constant sharing, and when it gets to the point where he's trying to fend off T.W. Barker and his bears, because he's trying to run a pyramid scheme, he can't actually fight the bears because he keeps on getting alerts on his smartwatch. So Sonic finally just unfriends Eggman. And Eggman, who's trying to share some more stuff on his social media, finds that Sonic isn't his friend anymore. He tries to refriend him, but gets refused, so he's like, "Rrr, I'll show him! I'll make my own social media network, and it'll have hookers and blackjack! In fact, forget the social media network!" No, he's not Bender, he's Eggman. So yeah, basically he brainstorms with Cubot and Norbot about making a new Facebook. He talks about how it should have easy ways to share memes and a way to condescend to your friends, like winking. I think that's supposed to be the equivalent of thumbs ups or pokes or whatever. And So he creates his new social media network. He calls it Scramble, and he tries to he goes back to that popular social media girl, and he talks to her, and she says that sounds lame. But he's like, oh man, I guess that's it for Scramble. Never even got any users. Like, wait, there are no users? That sounds super exclusive. So she joins it, and so do 3,000 of her online followers. This girl's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, she's kind of funny. Yeah, earlier in the episode she was talking about how nobody uses Facebook anymore and they use Snapchat. Oh, never mind, nobody uses Snapchat. Because social media networks... I remember when MySpace was like the most important thing ever. Where a celebrity could measure their worth by how many MySpace friends they have. Not Facebook. MySpace. That's where it all started. I hate social media so much. Oh, and YouTube isn't a social media site as far as I'm concerned. It's a video sharing site. That's different from social media. For reasons which will occur to me. Alright, so everybody in town starts using Scramble. But Dr. Eggman specifically programmed Scramble to forbid Sonic from ever joining it. So everyone becomes phone zombies, constantly talking to each other on social media. And Eggman and Amy and Knuckles are doing the thing where they're sitting 5 feet away from each other but not actually talking to each other because they're just exchanging stuff on their phones. I hate it when that happens. And the phone, and you know, like the fact that Sonic can't join is starting to make him a little bit ostracized because nobody wants to talk in real life, and there's exclusive parties that you have to RSVP on Scramble for, and so finally Sonic goes up to Eggman and he apologizes for unfriending him, and you know, like I really see. Remember how much I said I love continuity and callbacks? This would have been the perfect time to mention what they went through in the Buddy Buddy Temple. Because, like, they may be enemies, but they're buddies! They're bros! They share a bond that's deeper than any social media website. But whatever. So Sonic apologizes, Eggman accepts the apology, and allows Sonic to join the social media network. He gets in, he's like, oh, hey, this is like... Oh, by the way, Eggman says that he's realized that all of his social media friends are meaningless because they aren't real friends. Like, he needed to borrow a cup of sugar, but instead of anyone offering him to help with the cup of sugar, they just sent him a whole bunch of winks. So Sonic says that if he were his friend online, he would totally do all of the things. He'd bring him a cup of sugar, and he'd help, and he'd comment on all of his posts, even if they were factually inaccurate. So this is why Dr. Eggman allows Sonic to join the social media network, and Sonic joins like, wow, this is a really good and intuitive social media interface. Wow, this is fantastic. And Eggman's like, unfriended! How does it feel to be unfriended by your enemy? It sucks, doesn't it? Now I'm gonna delete the whole thing. So he deletes the app, and everybody's walking through towns, and their phones give a delete sound, like, aww. So Eggman's swaggering through town as everyone boos him, like, if, you know, better than having online friends is to have real-life enemies. And then they start throwing banana peels at him, and he gets angry. So that was the chain letter. I don't like social media. I like it when people make fun of social media. So, I like this episode. Facebook turns people into jerks and idiots and all kinds of horrible things. Like, I will never forget the time when they when Google created an artificial intelligence, which they put on Twitter, which was supposed to learn how to interact with people based on how it was spoken to. And in less than 24 hours, it was a hate speech spewing Nazi that supported genocide. Because that's what social media does to people. Yeah. I will never let that go. Whenever anybody asks me why I never use my Facebook page, or I never go onto Twitter or Tumblr or anything like that, I'm gonna mention that AI. I'm gonna talk about the Nazi AI and how toxic the whole online community is, because, you know what? Screw social media. Really. Like, I'm pretty sure that eventually social media is going to become so perfect that human beings will stop interacting with each other in person, reproduction will end, and our species will go extinct. That's what's going to do it. And speaking of species going extinct, yeah, that all the talks about white genocide on social media, because because social media is horrible. Anyway, I'm ranting about how horrible social media is, and there's another episode of Sonic Boom for me to watch. So, before I get too many thumbs down on this video for this ending, let's end it here.